Hey, gorgeous souls. I hope you're having a great start to your day. And today, chatting part two about how to make it easier to feel great. This is such an important thing. We make it so hard at times to feel great. Yesterday's video was all about the things that you can actually do to make it easier to feel good. So if you haven't watched that, jump onto my page and check it out. This is part two, and this is about what do we actually need to do to make it harder to feel bad, because our ego survival mind was built to protect us and built to keep us safe, not to experience happiness and joy and feel successful and all those things. That's what our heart is for. So being able to work with our mind in a way that really supports you to feel more of the ways that you want to feel and less of the ways that you don't want to feel. So making it harder to feel bad. This is where we actually need to switch our rules around to actually make it harder to feel a particular way. So if you experience a lot of guilt, often women can feel guilty for resting, for taking care of themselves, for putting themselves first. So what we actually want to do is actually rewrite our unconscious rules around this, which is, it could be, and this is something for you to do for yourself, but he's actually writing down only when I consistently don't show up for my family for more than a week or more than 2 weeks. You get to write the rules around this. Only when I consistently don't do this particular thing, then I'll allow myself to feel guilty. So you're making it as hard as possible, rather than anytime someone feels bad around me, I feel guilty for that or I blame myself for that. Another one might be failure. Only when I consistently don't show up, or perhaps completely give up, then I'll allow myself to feel a sense of failure, instead of feeling like a failure every time we're learning or making a mistake or any of those things. So again, you want to write down a list of maybe 5 emotions that you experience on a regular basis and that you don't want to experience anymore, or that you want to make it harder to actually feel that way, and write down rules that is only when I'm consistently living in this particular behavior. I did this with self-pity years ago. Self-pity was something I was experiencing at the time, and I really disliked when I was in that actual energy. And it was like, only when I'm continually beating up on myself and not living true to myself for weeks on end, am I going to allow myself to feel self-pity. Or when life has got really, really tough, I'll allow myself to feel it for a little bit and then shift out of it. So get really, really clear. What's the 5 biggest emotions that you'd love to feel more often? And anytime I do one behavior, one tiny thing, which is what yesterday's video was about, you get to experience more and more and more of that feeling state. And only when you are consistently living in this particular way for weeks on end, do you feel guilty, or when you completely, absolutely give up on one of your biggest dreams, or on doing what you're wanting to, then allowing yourself to feel that particular emotion, whether it be failure or anger at self, any of those things. But you want to make it as hard as possible to feel the badder feelings, or feel the feelings that you don't want to be experiencing, and as easy as possible to feel the good feelings. I truly hope that's been helpful for you today. Wishing you an amazing and wonderful rest of your day, and really diving into, obviously, the Christmas period, feeling great, and really remembering the core truth of why this is such an important time of year, and what is the outcome, what is the emotional experience that you would love to experience, and what's one thing that you can do today that actually takes you more into that particular experience of an emotional state that you'd love to experience. So whether it's presence, as in being truly present with your day, just pausing, noticing what's around you, what you can feel grateful for, or whether that might be joy, and it might just be really looking into your children's eyes or into a loved one's eyes and really appreciating who they are and how they are, and expressing your love and why you love them and why you appreciate them. Just a couple of tips on how to feel even more of those emotional states you'd love to experience. Have a wonderful, fantastic day. Lots of love to you all.